Welcome to the Golden Age of Cardboard podcast, where we remember a time when stacks of cards were held together with rubber bands and Mickey mantles were put in bike spokes. We hope you will enjoy and reminisce as you come along with us as we tell stories about the baseball cards from the Golden Age of Baseball. We will examine the state of the vintage baseball card market and talk to some of the greatest collectors in the hobby. You won't be hearing us talk about any chrome or shiny cards here. Now, to take you on this retrospective journey, here's your host, direct from the shallow end of the gene pool, my son, Mike Moynihan.
Yo and hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Golden Age of Cardboard podcast. Glad you're here this week, every week. Really appreciate everybody coming along. So I did something the other day that has been interesting. I finally have seen the light in terms of deciding to take some of my excess and take a bunch of cards that just don't really fit anything and that I just accumulated, and I love them, but at some point you just can't keep it all. And that's kind of where I've gotten, which is surprising that I've gotten there. Honestly, I didn't think I ever would. And here I am. So a couple of days ago on the Baseball Collector channel, I announced that I had a bunch of stuff that I was selling. I have a Google sheet that is out there for things that I am getting rid of. And I'm going to take all of that money that I get, and I'm going to do two things. Number one, I'm going to take half of it, and I'm going to put it back into our family, to our life. Lots of things, lots of projects that I want to do with Julie out at the ranch. And so that half that money is going to go towards that. And half of it I want to use to get a really big card. And the card I'm kind of targeting with this money is the 33 DeLong Lou Gehrig. As you guys know, Lou Gehrig's my favorite player, and I love him. And so that's a big deal, and that's kind of going on. It's been crazy, the response already, and I really appreciate it from everybody wanting to add cards that I've owned. So tonight's guest, the guy I'm going to talk to tonight, is a guy that basically is doing the same thing. And honestly, him and some other guys have inspired me. A lot of people are reaching out going, hey, just get rid of some stuff. And I've been so reluctant and so resistant to that. But this guy's story, he showed up on Chasing Cardboard a few months ago, and it's Mikey. Mikey, how you doing?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
I am great. So great to have you on the show.
It's nice to be on the show.
I have to tell you, when I saw the Chasing Cardboard episode, I didn't get to meet you in person. We FaceTimed actually while you guys were filming the episode, because Ty said, hey, I've got a guy here that enjoys your channel. And the nice things you said about me in that episode, I really appreciate. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I really meant them.
Well, I'm glad. And so you and I have been talking ever since, off and on. And I want you to tell everybody anybody that hasn't watched the Chasing Cardboard episode, you had a lot of great stuff. Ty ended up doing a deal with you. Why did you want to get rid of so much stuff? What card are you going after?
Well, I'm going after the 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle at the National this year. And actually, the response to that episode 37 of Chasing Cardboard has really been overwhelming for me and really positive. Like, the reaction of everyone has really been really inspiring. So everyone keeps asking me when I'm going to get the mantle, and it's going to be at the National. So, but the reason that I sold the cards is because one of the videos of yours, I believe, is they said that trying to condense your collection into like bigger cards is really better over the long term and better investment than having a whole bunch of smaller cards. So that is really inspired me to do that. And I've always wanted the 1951 Bowman Mickey Mantle, so that also was an inspiration as well.
Well, that's a great card. I happen to own it myself, and I love having. That's one of the key cards in my collection, honestly. But I had never been one of the. I don't think you heard me say that, because I had never said that before. I'm always a big. I had always been, just an accumulator, really. If I saw a Hall of Fame autograph cheap at a show, I'd buy it, whether I needed another one or not, and so I ended up with just so many unnecessary cards in my collection in terms of the bulk, you know. But I have heard a lot of people say that. I've heard people say that on my show as well. I know there are people that
I
feel
think
that
that's
way.
what I meant.
Yeah, that's okay. And but I've gotten there, Mikey. I've gotten to where that makes some sense. I kept a ton, by the way, of cards. It's not like I'm getting rid of everything. I still have so many. That's the problem. Is that even after getting rid of, I'm going to probably end up selling 750 cards, all Hall of Fame autos or relics, and I'm still going to have hundreds and hundreds left. So,
Yeah.
In no way am I, liquidating, getting out of the hobby or anything like that. But I want to get some of those key cards that I realized I couldn't get otherwise, right? And that's kind of where you're.
Yeah, basically, like, I'm only in my early 20s, so it's not like I have like accounting. I think you do accounting, right? Like, I don't have that like income. I work at Kroger, so like I just graduated college, so it's really I acquired those cards that I sold to Ty through trading. That's how I did it. I as did smaller cards into those cards, and then it just like kind of a cycle of moving my way up into the cards that I've wanted. So it's not like I've invested a ton of money into the hobby. And since I got started young, then the market growth over the last 10 years has helped me as well. So, yeah.
Pretty savvy, by the way. That's pretty savvy. So, tell it for those again that haven't seen the Chasing Cardboard episode, or just to recount for some people, your collecting history started when, and how has it developed over the years?
So I started collecting when I was 5, and it actually started one day when my dad gave me a briefcase of his old cards, and I went through them, and that's how I fell in love with the hobby. And so from there, I discovered YouTube, and back then there wasn't a lot of YouTubers over around. There was like Eastern Connecticut Sports Cards. There was there was Elite 3, there was Mr. Fisher Bike, and the beer guy. I forget his name. Eric. Those
Eric,
back years, yeah. So
yeah.
those were some of those guys early on that I watched in junior high and elementary school and stuff. And so from there, as I got through school, my grandma would give me lunch money for lunch, and I'd actually spend it on cards. I would just like not eat lunch and then buy cards with it. Then I ended up paying her back, but when I actually got a job. But that's how I funded some of my cards, and so I I've had cycles. So originally I was just I want any cards. Like I would just get any cards that I can find at yard sales and flea markets and stuff. And then I am a huge Colts fan and Peyton Manning fan. So I went through a phase in like around 2014, 2015 of just collecting Philip Dorsett because he was the first round pick of the Colts in 2015. So I had a huge Philip Dorsett PC, and then he fizzled out. He didn't really do much. So I sold that, and then I invested in Peyton Manning cards, specifically PSA 10s. And so I actually still have some of those. And So that was one of my PCs. And then I invested in Andrew Luck when he got injured around 2006, 2017, and that did not work out very, very well. But yeah. Um, and then so around 2018, um, uh, I got inspired to do vintage because I was tired of my thing about like collecting my favorite team of the Colts is each year or each every couple years the players move on and they are no longer on the Colts and I don't want their cards. So that's kind of why I got rid of like all my Colts cards. And I was like, what am I gonna do? Like I could keep collecting Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, specifically Peyton Manning because he's my favorite football player, but I really want those iconic cards. So the very first one I bought was the 1972 Terry Bradshaw rookie, the red border one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that was actually my very first vintage card. And then I got the Joe Montana rookie from 81. And then from there, I just watched more and more vintage videos and got accustomed to and learned all the vintage sets, like the major sets. And during the pandemic, I traded like all my cards basically and dived deep into vintage. And so, yeah, that's kind of my collecting cycle. I think it is a cycle for most collectors is they go through phases of different aspects of their collection.
Aspects. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't talk
And
all of speech impediment.
I think all collectors go through phases for sure. And I also call it a maturation through the, the longer and longer in the hobby, you tend to, I see a lot of people gravitate towards vintage. They kind of get fed up with the modern world, the modern cards. And I know you do modern stuff too, but I think, and you can answer this, would you rather have a cool vintage card than a cool modern card?
Yes, I would definitely would rather have a vintage rookie card than have a modern prospect. Um, I just think the growth potential of that is really cool, but it really boils down to the history. I love the history and learning about the player and their stats. One of the favorite things about um, that I love to do is going on a card. Here's my Clemente PSA
Nice.
2, but I love going on the back and just reading the stats and everything. So I also love the artwork. The artwork is really cool for me. So
I don't
the
think
only
you realize, Mikey, how unique you are in the vintage world. There's not a lot of young people. Usually it takes a lot longer for them to kind of work their way towards vintage. When you get older and gruff and, a little bit cynical about the world, then you go to vintage, but you've done it really early in your life. And the fact that you read the backs of the cards, you love the artwork and appreciate the artwork. Those are very cool qualities that you have in the way you collect. I love that.
Yeah, I think that for me, like centering is number one, and then it's the surface. I don't like paper loss on any of my cards. It just kind of bugs me. And then I could care less about the corners if they're rounded or if there's creases. So for surface, I don't like paper loss, but I do am okay with creases. And it also boils down to my budget. Like I don't have a lot of money, so I'm okay with like PSA 1s and PSA 2s of these when I'm doing trading, but there's like certain things that I look for on cards of these cards that I look for. I look
As you're,
for
as you're holding a Bowman Jackie Robinson rookie. What grade is that Robinson? That's pretty awesome.
it's a PSA 1.
Okay, it's a nice looking one though.
Yeah,
You know,
it is. And here's
I
the
mean,
back.
that's pretty fantastic. You have a Jackie Robinson rookie, right? And that's
Yeah,
you also appreciate what I like about you is that you appreciate just owning the card, right? You don't need a super high grade. You don't need to spend tons of money. You just want to own the card and you're proud to own it. That is, again, another quality that you possess that I think collectors could learn from.
definitely. I think that owning the card, um, no matter like what grade it is in, is like the number one thing for me because like I don't like how like if there's like a PSA 9 card, I don't think that it's natural for it to be in that condition for how many years it's been out. Like I like
Right.
the wear and tear because it makes like it's appreciated. The person that had it appreciated the card, and like they valued it. They played with it. That's what the collectors did back then, is they played with the cards, they flipped the cards, they put them in bike spokes, and that's the thing that I really care about is that character on that card of the condition. I want the to have the card be appreciated by the collector and that being shown through the condition. So I don't think if even if I had like Elon Musk money, I would not buy like Mint Nines PSA 10s of cards. I would still buy ones because I like that character on that card.
Well,
If that
you are cardboard wise beyond your years. I'll tell you that. If I had Elon Musk money, I would be buying higher. It's,
really,
I admit it. I like mid grade. My lane is really mid grade stuff. I think you can get really nice 5s and 6s. In a lot of the 50s and 60s cards. I think they look great. They do show some of that character that you're talking about. I personally don't like creases. Well, it's not true. I don't like creases through the face of a player if it's a portrait or whatever. Um, I don't mind paper loss on the back. I can't stand, just like you, paper loss on the front. That's a no. That's a non-starter for me. But it's
yeah,
so funny how we all have different quirks. There's everybody out there. There's however many people are going to watch and listen to this. Every one of them has some unique quirk about cards that they like, whether it's centering and I also don't care about corners as much. I like them to be evenly rounded, if that makes sense. Um, it would stand out to me if one corner was just really screwed up and the other three were sharp. That would
yeah.
look weird to me, to my eye. But I think again, you found what you like and you're running with it and you're going with it. And I think that's amazing. You showed me 2 cards before we hit record that you're going to use to try to get into your mantle rookie. What do you have there?
1933 Gaudy Babe Ruth and 33 Gaudy Lou Gehrig.
And it's that's my favorite of the Babe Ruths of all the 4 different
It
Gaudis.
is mine too. I just like the swinging of him.
Yeah, it's the
swinging the bat.
144, which is the hitting pose. I just think that's a great card. It's printed more, like I think it's either double. I think it's double printed, and that's probably what a
It probably
SGC
makes it a
one.
little. Yeah, it's a 1. It has creases down
Okay.
here and up here, and then the back is kind of beat up, but it shows the character of the card. And I bought it from a reputable dealer, so
Okay.
it's definitely real. I just haven't paid the money to get it graded.
So on cards like that, did you trade into those cards because those are not cheap cards by themselves? Are those things you traded, or did you use some of your chasing cardboard money for that? Didn't you?
Yeah, I bought the Gehrig with the
Mm-hmm.
chasing cardboard money, and then I also bought a 39 play ball Joe DiMaggio,
Okay.
a 1909 T206. Sorry, my dad didn't my dog, is right
It's
next to
okay.
me. T206 Walter Johnson. And then I bought those. Then I bought a 1952 Bowman Willie Mays. Let's see, what else did I buy? Then I bought back my Stan Musial Leaf. Bowman 49 Bowman. I bought
Okay.
that back on that live stream of my collection on Whatnot, and then because I missed it, but to get the Babe Ruth, I did have to trade it. Then I traded my 54 Topps Ernie Banks. Um, the thing about this is that I've kind of missed those cards, but I love the Babe Ruth. So I might even love the Mickey Mantle even more. But I'm starting to buy back these cards that I have traded to either sold to Ty or traded for the Babe Ruth. So that's one of my goals is to buy those back over time because those are still grails for me. So
That's awesome. When you ultimately do go for the mantle, are you going to get a 1 or a 2? Is that kind of your target grade?
I'm gonna get a 1. I don't
Okay.
think I can get a 2. I don't think so, but maybe a 1.5. I was looking
What
at the
do
prices, and they're
what do
like
one what do
12,000.
ones twos go for on that
So
card? I
a
don't even.
1 is around 9 to 9,500, 10,000 if it's a really nice copy, and then a 2 is around 12 to 14. So, because I know you have a 5, which I'm jealous about, and that's like 30,000, 35, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've
I
looked it
didn't
up.
pay that for it, but you
Yeah.
know,
I remember when you did that video of you meeting in the parking lot at night to buy
I
it.
did.
That was crazy.
I did, and it was a very good memory. Yeah, I bought it in January of 2020 from a dealer up in
Perfect
Oklahoma, and
timing.
it was perfect timing. I paid up for it at the time. I paid more than comps just because it was such a nice copy of the 5. It was a great looking 5, well centered and all that. And that's what you have to, you have to go, all right. I've always felt that card has been so underrated in the hobby, especially compared to the 52 Topps Mantle. It makes no sense to me why the Bowman card, which is a beautiful card, is not more highly sought after because it is his true rookie. It's just like the Maze in that set is his true rookie.
I want
And
the
yet,
maze too.
yeah, the Maze is a great card. And I have that in a 2. I have the Maze in a 2, which is fine for me, just like you think. And but I think they're getting more and more appreciated. I still think obviously the 52 Topps cards for both Maze and Mantle are, I guess, just in so much greater demand. But I feel like the Mantle rookie is one of those that still has some room because Mantle is just the goat of the hobby, period, paragraph. There's
Absolutely.
no arguing that. And I just think his rookie is still kind of underrated a little bit. I don't know if undervalued is the right word. Any card that's worth 35 grand is a lot of money for a
Yeah.
piece of card. But I'm excited I'm going to get to meet you at the National, so that'll be good. Shake your hand. Are you going
Yeah,
to
it's
come
on
to
the site.
Are you going to come to the get together on Thursday night?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do
Okay.
that. Well, not try to. I'm planning on doing it. It just depends on if I can actually get my travel to line up
Are
for that.
will this be your first National?
No, it'll be my second. I went to Chicago last year, and I
Okay.
was going to go to that meetup for uh, the YouTube meetup last year, but I ended up chickening out because I got really nervous. So
Well, let me tell you, you shouldn't be nervous. And I'll believe me, I got your back. Okay.
okay, thank you.
You don't need to worry about anything. You're going to be just fine. And there'll be a lot of people there that that don't know you. Well, they'll know you now because they've seen you on Chasing Cardboard, probably.
True.
And yeah, you'll be all right.
Thank you.
So I want to talk a little bit about, and we didn't talk about this before, and if you don't want to talk about it, let me know. I certainly don't want to make you uncomfortable, but you're autistic, right? And a lot of people know that watch the show. But how has that been helpful for you in cards? Has it been a help or a hindrance in your collecting, or has it just not even mattered at all?
So I think it's helped because I have like ADHD too. So I'll put it this way. So you know how I said that centering and paper loss is one of the things I am those are my positive and negative when I look for cards.
Yeah.
That's one of the things my autism has helped me with is trying to find the perfect copy. Not the perfect copy, in terms of like grade, but the perfect copy that I'm happy with. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. Do you think, like, for me, looking at cards or sorting through a box or whatever is very calming to me, and I just enjoy doing it. It's something I enjoy spending my time doing. Have you found that to be true for you? Either looking on eBay or doing whatever with cards?
yes, I love sorting and I love listing on eBay for my store. I love just, opening a box. I love just going through my old boxes of cards and just looking through them because it brings back memories of when I've got the card. And my autism also allows me to remember certain things about when I got a card, the memories I got a card, and um, it's just like, and also like organizing. I'm very organized. My husky is really playing with.
It's okay.
Um,
I can see that totally about you. You can recall, years of, vintage years way better than most people your age. You could look at a card and say, that's a 60 tops or that's 62 tops. I think that you have that photographic retention of what cards are.
yes. Like in school, I had to learn in person. Like I could not learn through a screen because you can tell me something um in person and I can remember it, or in a textbook, or typing it. But if you're just gonna have me watch a video, I won't remember it. But in like studying, I didn't really have to study that much in school because I remember the information from the lectures. But
Well,
the
that's
odd thing
interesting.
about it is through YouTube, and because I care about the cards so much, that I can actually remember the information by watching an episode of yours and just remembering some odd information that you might mention in one sentence in a 20-minute video. Actually, I have like 5-minute videos, but yeah, it's just kind of unique for me. Is I remember certain things um, that I think that other people might not have the ability to do. Not ability, but have the I don't know.
No, I think you were right the first time with ability. It's fascinating to me that you mentioned hard for you to learn, let's say algebra on through a screen, but you can learn about cards by watching YouTube because it's something I think it's because you're so passionate about it that you care about what the person's saying, whether it's me or Eric or whoever that you're watching. You're attentive to that. You're really paying attention. You're really listening to the details, and I think that's why that works for you.
I absolutely agree with that. Because if I don't have a passion for it, then like I don't. I have a hard time remembering it. Like in English class, I had a hard time, and in math class, I had a hard time. But history class and cards and science, now I can remember that. So I think it's about the passion for it, and that subject is very important for me. So
that is totally awesome. So you're going for this mantle card. You're going to do that at the National. I want to be with you when you get your mantle card. I want to be. You need to grab me and text me and tell me to show up so I can watch that thing go down. I'm excited about seeing that happen for you. That's pretty awesome.
Maybe we can do a video together when I buy it.
Now you're talking. Now you're thinking like a content creator. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I do have a YouTube channel that I did start until I did Chasing Cardboard, Hall of Fame card collector, and then I've not done a video since because I don't know what to do a video about because I haven't bought anything. Basically. Right. So
that's okay.
I have like 86 subscribers, and I feel bad because the Collector's Dream shouted me out, and I haven't done videos since. But once I get the mantle, because that's my goal, I'm going to do videos. So yeah.
Well, you're going to get to meet all those guys at the National. They'll all be there, and yeah, man, I'm so excited to continue following your journey and talking to you every once in a while. I appreciate it. Any final words you want to say before we go?
I will say, keep collecting, everyone, and follow your dreams, and yeah.
Awesome. Well, you are an amazing young guy, and I'm so glad to be your friend. And
I love being your friend too.
Well, I hope you. Well, I know you're going to get the mantle, and yeah, we'll. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to Mikey, and what a great inspiration for all of us. What a great lesson in just how to collect and how to just love the collecting for collecting's sake. And I love your passion, Mikey. Love the way you think about cards. So till next week, everybody. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon. You want to finish it out, Mikey? What do I say at the end?
Keep collecting.
Keep collecting. That's right. All right. See you guys later. Have a good one.